Actually, what we are doing here today is what Parliament should be doing. We have today constituted ourselves as a People's Constituent Assembly to start that journey of even anchoring this process into law, as you say. And I want to say that we support. And indeed, Your Excellency, you remember on Monday in our meeting in Naivasha, I did suggest that probably it's time that when we have a national vision like this, we not only anchor it in law, but we also find a way where within the governance structures of our political parties, we ensure that even at a time as this, when we are looking at elections and we're looking at people crafting their election manifestos, that all political parties and elective leaders who are looking for elective positions speak to that greater national vision so that we hold you to account when you get elected as to what you are doing within your manifesto in actualizing that dream, that greater dream of the Kenyan nation. Your Excellency, Senate Majority Leader is telling me that I should say that since we craft laws or we have legislative proposals that we draft into bills and then take those bills back to the people for public participation, what we've actually done today is begun with public participation. And we must look at a way where from this process, we then culminate in a legislative proposal in terms of a bill that will now anchor this process of a national vision into law so that we obligate all future leaders to the time we are 100 years as a nation and beyond in law and make sure that nobody ever gets takes us backward in terms of what we want to aspire to get to as a nation. Lastly, Your Excellency, in the interest of time, Mheshimiwa Esther Saris, the County Women Rep for Nairobi, reminds me and told me I must say this if I get that opportunity, and she doesn't get, that when Singapore aspired to be what it is today, they had a consideration on their population growth and family planning. And she tells me and reminds me that President Mwai Kibaki, in around 2008 when we were doing Vision 2030, did speak to us on the need to look at our population growth and how we plan for that population growth. Your Excellency, is food for thought, because you've also told us that by the year, you say 2050, a quarter of the population, world population, will be in Africa. Population is both a resource but can also be a burden to a nation's economy. And therefore, there must be a very good balance between the rate at which our population grows and the rate at which we grow our economy. And those are the challenges that we must think about as we continue in this conversation. Your Excellency, let me give you the assurance of both houses of Parliament that we shall do all that it takes. And indeed, Your Excellency, wanted to suggest that probably, because Parliament work through committees, I do not know whether through this forum, we could also constitute committees that will go out, probably one to sit in Nairobi, and another that goes around the country, collecting and collating the views of Kenyans, so that every part of our country feels that